where the sun runs high. There's a place where hearts and spirits fly. I'm a survivor stands for all who've been through. A second chance, a promise, pure and true. They take the broken, the battered, the lost, love without measure, no counting the cost. Every hoof and paw gets the life it deserves, a pasture of hope where kindness curves. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. Stretching fences and wide open skies, where love's the language that never lies. Each soul that walks through those gates of grace finds a home, a heart, a safe new space. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. Dreams alive. We're all a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive.
Somebody's crying. Somebody's crying.
So good not looking.
Somebody's crying this morning. I looked away. I was smart. I look away.
I looked at the exact time. I held it together because I heard the song, I knew the parts, and I knew it was coming to the end, and then that Dixie,
Oh no, I'm the same way. There's certain moments where I've learned the song and I sing along with it, and I also know in my head what video is going to pop up next, and I have to turn away at the Maggie part. But all of a sudden she goes, "Oh no, Maggie," and it made me look, and I'm like,
well, because so
and then
I
she
know
starts
that
crying.
I know that Sookie's right before it, and like, oh,
Oh my God. There's nothing better than a good cry in the morning, says Jamie. Okay. Says every woman probably.
clean it out, okay? Just clean it out and get it out of your system.
Says every woman, nothing like a good cry in the morning. Coffee clinks and cheers to you all, guys. Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to see everybody. Thank y'all for joining us on this beautiful Saturday morning. We actually have clearish skies. Clearish. Now, the only problem with clear skies and sun is the fact that it's rained so much that means humidity.
Oh.
And it can be beautiful, and it may only say 91 degrees, and you're like, okay, it's only 91.
Oh no.
But it's the humidity, all this moisture around.
Steamy here. I curled my hair this morning, like really curled it, and this is what's left because humidity just took over.
Yeah, it's not 91 yet. I think the high is 91. But 91 with humidity is very, very rough.
But I will say that everything is so green from all of the rain we've had, and I know it's only the 31st of May. It's the last day of May today, but everything is just beautiful green and blossoming and still blooming. And the only thing I will say though is that we had more bugs this year than we have ever had before, and that has hindered a few things.
Yeah, a lot of people keep asking. They just have to. They know the video's ours, but they demand who is the singer. Who is the singer? I've told y'all it's Dolly Parton. How come no one wants to believe me?
The singer is a professional singer that isn't.
Why will no one believe
no
me?
name.
Why will no one believe
name.
me that it's Dolly? Why can't it just be Dolly Parton and be done with it? Just know that Dolly Parton sings our intros for us now. Done. Just go with it.
This song is you can hire gig people. That's what it is. The same as don't let your troubles.
Reba McEntire.
No, people really have been saying Reba McEntire.
Then let's just go with Reba.
And then people are getting in arguments about it.
Then let them argue.
Can we just say that I sang it?
Fine. It's Jami. And I'm playing the guitar. Okay. I play the guitar and Jami sings. Okay. Jami does play the guitar. You guys probably don't even know that about her. You don't even know that about her. Jami does play the guitar, and I'll tell you a horrible, horrible thing. She plays guitar really well. However, her famous guitar that she's had for years, in her last breakup before me, the guy would not give her guitar back because he knew how much she loved it, and that's the one thing he kept from her. And probably with a lot of hurt and pain. And all the emotions that go along with the breakup. But yeah, Jami plays guitar, Fran. Some people say they already knew that about you.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never shared that, so I don't know how they knew. But
you've never shared that? Maybe I have.
Maybe you have.
Maybe I've shared it. Yeah, Jami never got to get her guitar back, and she's never desired to buy another one, or I would have bought her one.
There's no time. Like, it takes a lot of time. That's like a lot of sitting around. And in the winter times up north, you're inside a lot. So that was kind of the thing. Here, there's no, I have zero time for that. So
yeah. Well,
it's what it is. We have kittens running everywhere right now. I'm looking around.
Yeah, well, there's one of them who was playing with my feet just a minute ago.
Aww, and I hope that's what it was.
Oh, I know. I didn't look down.
What if it wasn't?
Well, I'm sure it is. It's nothing bad because I see Stella over here chasing one around. Stella loves the cats.
Oh no, they're in the tree.
Not again. Guys, we have problems. They get up, they can't get down. I had an entire video of me having to rescue a cat out of that tree yesterday.
That's true. That's very true.
Can you put this where it can show the cat between us? And we can do that. We can both be in the video.
Where is it? I'm really close. I don't know. Put it back.
All right. Sorry, guys. There are
what
kittens.
What does your shirt say? That looks just like Terrence. Actually.
That is Terrence. That's Terrence, and I'm his daddy. That's Terrence, and I'm his daddy. This was a gift.
That's awesome.
Thank you for the gift shirt. Yeah, I hadn't had a chance to wear it yet.
I love Terrence. I know that you don't love chickens.
Y'all do know that we have not eaten out of our garden yet, but the chickens have. She comes out in the mornings.
That's not true. I've eaten out of the garden.
Well, I have not had any squash at all this entire summer, and I love me some butter squash. And used to, she'd go out in the morning and grab some squash, and we cook it up for lunch. And now I'm eating frozen burritos because
that's so not
Terrence,
true. People give me a hard time, like, why do you have groceries in your kitchen if you never cook, Jami?
Terrence,
because you're telling people, he's telling people I don't cook. Tell him I cook.
Okay, guys, I'm just messing with her. I'm just messing around.
But he's right. I did cut up squash for the chicken. I do cut up squash. I cut up garden stuff for the chickens every morning. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, Jami eats out of the garden plenty. But one thing I have not had a good meal of, and I've had a couple of servings. I'm just messing with you guys. But I don't get the same amount of garden squash that I was getting last year, which was almost a side piece on every lunch, and dinner.
But you know what?
Because I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying poor me. All I get is squash. No, I love me some yellow squash.
The problem is we had squash vine borers. You don't know that. I haven't told you about that. I told them we had squash vine borers, and they wiped out the squash plants in like a
Hold
week.
on a minute. Hold on. Someone's calling me a liar. Not Barbara Green again. You need to get your story straight because Jamie says that you've eaten so much squash this year that you're sick of it. I just said I'm goshing you. I'm messing around. I've eaten plenty of squash. I'm joking.
He got jealous because the very last squash went to Terrence this morning.
Oh my God. Oh, listen, do y'all know that the live from last night had to end early because of arguing in the comments? Because I was supposedly cheating. I was cheating. Guys, I've had squash this year and I don't eat frozen burritos. I mess with her and I mess with you. Okay? Now we got to get our story straight. We don't have to tell a story. We share our stories right here. It's live. Okay? And no, I was saying that last night, the live had an awkward end to it because we were having so much fun. We had a game night and I had selected some opponents out of the audience, out of the chat. And towards the end, we narrowed it down to 2 finalists who had to unscramble a word. And like I tried to explain to people that I have no invested interest in who wins. I have no invested interest whatsoever in who wins. It's not going to benefit me if Lady A or Lady B. I don't care. But supposedly one of the ladies said the name that I could not hear.
Keep in mind, Lester's deaf.
But I also remember that because I'm deaf or I'm partially, I can't hardly hear a darn thing. I can't see a darn thing. I said, shout out your answer. Shout out your answer. And so, Jamie, I was so upset that I had got it wrong that after the live was over, I go back to the TV where I can have surround sound. I sit back down and I find that section and I watch it again. And I see the sweet lady. And guys, she's a wonderful friend from the page. And she's very active on the page. And she's sitting there where she's trying to unscramble a word. And she's saying, and she's saying different words it could be. And all of a sudden, Miss Jill shouts out the answer, and it was the correct answer. I never could hear what the other lady was saying. I forgot her real name. I call her Salty Beet, but I forgot her real name. And Salty Beet was not mad, and Miss Jill was not upset. Miss Jill even says, if she said it, then I don't care. It's just a game. But the comments were mad at me for not hearing her. And oh my God, I could not hear her. And I played it over and I played it over. And I says, Jamie, please come in here. Tell me what she's saying. And Jamie, who has great hearing, could not hear what she had mumbled because she mumbled.
Well, it's possible her mic cut out. I don't know. It's electronics and it's not that serious.
It's just a game.
It's not
y'all.
that serious. That's what I told Lester. I was like, it's not that serious. It's not like it was for funsies. Like,
yeah, it was a Friday night live. It was fun.
But I did tell Lester, I was like, that's kind of why, like, he always asks me, why don't you do what I do? Why don't you bring people on? Why don't you play games and all this other stuff? Because I don't want the drama that goes with the win or lose.
Elvis is in the building. Elvis is in the building. Look, here's Miss Salty says, I was just happy to be there.
Thank you, Salty. Thanks, Miss Salty.
So if Salty's not mad and Jill's not mad, they all know it's just a game. Guys, it's just a game. Let's just not worry about it so much. But like I said, I have no reason to cheat. The same way I have no reason to lie about squash in the garden. I've eaten squash. But last year we had way more. We had a lot of squash. We had squash that we were giving to people. I would say, like, we were putting it down by the road by 10 to 20 pieces a day. We were carrying squash to the road, and I was having side squash.
It was none of that this year. Like, it was probably a week of squash, and I did feed some to the chickens every single day too. So we had plenty.
We had no chickens last year to feed them to.
Yeah.
So, no, but be honest though. But be honest. this is going to come out wrong, but guys, it's because it's the way I don't think before I speak. Jamie will wake up in the morning, and before she checks on me, she will go out to the garden, pick her veggies, cut them all up to the right size, and walk out to them chickens and make sure that they get their fresh, delicious veggies. And then you have to know something about this, y'all. When she makes me squash, chop, 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 microwave, butter. When she makes them squash, she has to carve it all up because they don't eat the outside of the squash. They don't like the outside of the squash. We'll throw that to the pigs. Her chickens only like the inside of the squash.
They like the outside of the yellow, but they don't like the outside of the green, especially if it gets bigger.
Oh my golly.
I peel your apples for you.
Hold on a minute.
I peel your apples for you.
You used to, but now I've been seeing when you go to the store, you buy already peeled apples.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cheating. I want you to peel them.
That's the same.
I don't want them to come from the store already peeled, already cut up in a little plastic box and all in little diced and cubed.
And I don't microwave the squash. That's what he likes. That's what I actually put it in a skillet and
I
cook
microwave it.
He likes his microwave. I like mine fried or
No.
grilled.
No.
Anything but microwave. I do not enjoy the microwave version.
No, I like to microwave it. It's faster. I don't have to stand over it. I can just take the squash, put a little bit of water, put some butter. And when I say butter, I mean I put like a quarter of a block of butter. Because when it comes out of that microwave all nice and steamy, soft, I want that butter to be boiling around it. And that butter is boiling around it.
See, I like to cut mine in spears and then grill it and then brush it with ranch and then put cayenne pepper on it. Oh my God. That is like heavenly snack. It's a full dinner in itself. And oh, so good. So good.
Yeah. No, we have our ways.
I did freeze. I think I have about 6 gallons of it frozen. Gallon Ziploc bags that I chunked up and froze. All yellow is our favorite. I have found that yellow squash is our favorite, especially this sounds really silly. I even know this. It's called like Gold Max by Haas Seeds. That is our absolute favorite. It's actually a golden zucchini. If you're a gardener, it makes sense. If it doesn't, you're like, I've never seen that. Anyway, it's our favorite. So I have that frozen and I'll pull it out throughout the year. And I have probably one big zucchini left to make some zucchini bread, but this year was nothing like last year. Last year we had probably 6 weeks of 10 to 20 a day. It was wild.
Have you figured out or talked about, I haven't watched the videos, but about why we have less veg? And don't forget, she's already pulled out half of her garden over here.
It was the squash vine borers. So what I learned from, and Stephanie had them too, and they embed in the very base of that plant, and then they eat the inside so that the plant can't.
Oh, so there's nothing inside to help.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it doesn't actually eat the squash. It eats the root of the plant, or like the base of the plant. But we had so much rain that you couldn't use 7 dust this year because it rained every day. It would rain, and whenever that happens, then you can't compete.
Yeah. Well,
excuse me.
In some sad news, I'm not going to tell the entire story because I don't know all of the details. But Mr. Ed, our hay man, is injured.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he had a tractor incident.
Really?
Uh-huh. And so we're having to look around for someone else who can cut hay. Mr. Ed's not going to do hay this summer. And so now he does have a son who helps him a little bit, but his son has a full-time job at the railroad.
Yeah.
So I can't say how much time Bubba is going to be able to dedicate to doing what Mr. Ed has done in years past. But we've always worried about what we would do if Mr. Ed ever gets to where he's no longer doing hay or anything else. And he had a tractor incident. He's going to be fine, but he's not going to be doing any tractor work this summer. So we are having to look around for someone else to be doing our hay there in Plum Grove. We have 20 acres of that pasture that we fertilized. And we're hoping to get a big enough cut.
Yeah, it's about time to cut, isn't it?
It's
behind
kinda weird.
this year too?
Well, yeah, the hay is behind this year. I videoed it recently and talked a little bit about it. But it's just it's getting there, but it's not where it was at last year at this time.
You know what we had last year at this time?
The May flood, yeah.
The flood accelerated that because the flood happened, and then when it went away, it got super hot super fast. So that humidity created a greenhouse effect on it, and it shot up like crazy. That was the beginning of May.
Yeah.
I don't
true.
want a repeat of that.
No, we don't need a repeat of that. But no, that meant that by this time last year, we're getting our first cut, and it was a tremendous crop of hay.
A bumper crop.
A bumper crop, as they call it.
Yeah.
It was a tremendous amount of hay.
That's what the farmers call it, a bumper crop.
So, and we had enough to fill up our barn pretty much with our very first cut. And then we also, on our second cut, we began to haul hay over here. We took hay all over the darn place. And
everybody on Morrow Hill got hay from it.
And we ended up giving a lot to Mr. Ed. Like, hey, we don't need it. Just go ahead and take it. We didn't sell it to Mr. Ed. We just let him have it. And so I don't know exactly what's going to happen this year.
We're gonna buy you a Sith.
Oh, no.
And or everybody. And we'll just go out there as like this big line.
Like the Amish, sis.
We will line up.
The guys do this, and the women bundle it and tie it.
All 30 Morrows out there with sis. Even the kids will cut the thing shorter, and everybody will cut like this, and then we'll get out there with the rake.
Gosh.
Can you imagine?
No.
But can you imagine the video?
The video would be great.
Because the drone flying over and everybody in sync, like we could get some synchronized sithing.
Yeah.
It would look like AI, except we're not. There's no way on earth that any synchronized anything would happen with the Morrows. There would be we would have to take the background noise out because everybody yelling. Sister Kim's on the left and Lester's all the way down on the right, and they're trying to talk to each other through everybody else in between. I can just imagine it. It would be so fun.
Yeah. Okay. So that reminds me of something that I think it will be hilarious.
Invite us. We'll call it Hay Day.
Yeah, we'll call it Hay Day. Hey Day.
Yeah.
So there is I don't know if this is a channel or if this was just something that I saw, but it's an Amish guy, or at least he's dressed Amish. Guys, you could dress Amish in a costume easy enough, right? So, suspenders, the Amish looking hat, the Amish looking beard, right? The pants, the boots, and he's dancing. But Amish, I don't think, are allowed to dance. So what this guy does is he does farm chores in dancing kind of ways. So, for example, let me see you. Show me how you milk a cow. Okay, now do it into a dance.
Like
that. So anyway, he's sitting there doing different dances, farm chores, and all he's doing is milking the cow, y'all. He's milking the cow. And he's doing these different things that he has to do because they're farm chores. But the way he's getting by with it is...
There's a lot of people that watch him, actually.
So you guys know about this. Okay, someone needs to send me his channel name because I would love...
Don't tell the bishop.
Don't tell the bishop. Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
I don't have Facebook, so I can't...
It's on Facebook? Yeah,
look at Facebook and type in Don't Tell the Bishop. And then you probably have to put it down on mute if you're going to show anybody, because I would love to challenge like Buddy, Uncle Dan, Nephew Jake, a lot of people.
Oh, no.
We're going to turn the volume down.
Okay.
So what I want to do is I'm going to go through his channel.
Are you sure he's not on TikTok?
It might be on TikTok because I don't see
any videos.
There's no videos of him dancing on the Facebook. Let Jamie try TikTok. I don't have TikTok either. It's called Don't Tell the Bishop.
This is put on your boogie boots. Let's put on your boots.
Okay, so it's stuff like over here. This is him putting on his boots. So he finds ways to have fun. And like I said, he's more than likely.
Can you grow your beard like that?
Can I grow my beard like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shave your whole face and give it a ring around the collar?
But what he does is he does different dances out in the...
Oh my God, I thought that was Jason at Cog Hill.
It looks like Jason at Cog Hill.
He dances like Jason at Cog Hill.
But there he is with his pitch. Oh. Oh my God. He's good. He's really good, and he's really funny. checking the electric fence. You know what we just done, Jamie?
Yeah, we boosted his channel.
We've just sent all of our sweet people over to his channel, and now we're going to lose all of our friends. Y'all are all going to go be watching some Amish guy dance now. That's fine. But no, I thought to myself, I could take some of his ideas and we're not going to dress Amish and do all of that. But what we could do is challenge some guys. We could first of all show me how you would rope a horse. Show me, Jamie. Show me. All right, you're roping a horse.
Oh, you gotta pull him in.
Now I want you to do a dance move and go.
I'll just leave it to you, babe.
Do it.
It's to you.
Do it. Rope the horse. Everybody join us. Swing it. Now pull it in. Pull it tighter. Faster. Uh-oh, he's pulling away. He's pulling away. We could find fun ways to do stuff. Chores that we really have to do around here. Jamie, wash the dog. Let's see you washing the dog. You wash all the dogs. You are our dog bather. Show me you washing the dog.
No, because I got to hold on to their neck and spray it all around like this.
Yes,
like,
you hold their neck and you spray.
or
now,
their collar, not their neck.
Now let's do it in the dance. Ready and go. Jamie, dance it with me. Wax on, Jamie. Wax off, Jamie. Jamie, wax on.
I will not wax on or wax off.
Please,
on
wax
alive.
on. Scrub Fiona's neck on the right. Now let's scrub her on the left. Jamie, help me. What are some other chores that we do? Jamie mops.
How about sheath cleaning?
How about we not take it to that level?
Well,
Milking.
I just wanted to see your face. Like, if we're going to take it there, go ahead. Add that farm chore to your dance master.
There's no dance in this, Jamie. Unless you do. There's no dance.
Don't forget the finger. You got to get the finger up in there.
This is going to be horrible. We're going to lose our channel.
I just gagged.
We're going to lose our entire channel now because of you and Jamie. But Jamie mop.
It's exactly what I look like when I mop too. I sing. I have birds flying on me like I'm Cinderella.
Oh, here we go. I remember this guy from the Amish butter churn. Churning butter. Show me how you would churn butter. You've never in your life churned butter.
I have actually churned butter.
Show me how the
you gotta give it the whole.
Okay, but you also have to go up and down with it.
Like this?
Yes.
I hate you.
Churning that butter. Churn it, Jamie. You churn it. Churn it. Jamie, we're churning butter. Help me.
I already did it.
Let's interlock our hands and churn butter. Now pump it. You got to pump that butter, Jamie. You know.
Oh, my grandma's probably watching.
Your grandma is watching. Here's what gets me. Half of the folks on here right now just got off of watching Cog Hill. And I bet you Jason Brooks sitting there. Jason had his shirt all tucked in.
And looked all proper and farm-like. And
he is, because he's proper and farm-like.
Mm-hmm.
And Brooke would never allow him to do that kind of stuff. Brooke would slap him out of his chair. He ever gets around to churning butter and doing all the stuff. So Jason finds sneaky ways to do it. Jason will find sneaky ways to get up there in the pasture and do his dancing, because he's a man. He just wants to dance. He wants to move. And he got some great dance moves too. But no, we could think of different jobs that we do around here and create a dance out of it. And then
how about the Carl tackle? You got to dance for that? Where your pants drop to the floor?
Jamie, why do you have to always take it to those kind of levels?
I'm just thinking of ones that would be unique to us, not necessarily something anyone else has done before. Like the run from Carl would be like you running in place.
Oh, like the running man.
Yeah, and then like the tackle, like you gotta swoop his arm or his head.
Okay.
And then your feet have to be together because your pants fall down your ankles.
Like,
yeah.
Like the running, and then we like.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very appropriate. You know it is.
I know. And we also have to have some kind of we could do some fun stuff, y'all. And then you know how Ivy likes to back her butt up to you?
And then Beverly.
Beverly, yes. Beverly. Oh my God. Beverly's worse than Ivy. Beverly, you get out anywhere around Beverly. So if you call this the loving Beverly or grooming Beverly or whatever, you got to learn how to pop, 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 pop.
Why are you
pop,
so
pop.
good at that?
Huh?
Why are you so good at that?
I don't know.
Have you been practicing?
No, I have not. No, but did you notice it was only one butt cheek was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have been practicing that, trying to use my muscles to control each. What's wrong with you?
What happens at the RV?
I think everybody practices that move.
No one practices that move.
I'm sure everybody tries to, at some point, try to see if they can actually muscle control each of their gluteus muscles. What's wrong with you? Stop. You're embarrassing me now. You're really embarrassing me.
I just saw you. Okay.
What? All I was doing was I leaned over and I made one butt cheek bounce. Just one, because the other one.
Quite effectively, actually.
Okay, stop. Now you're really embarrassing me. I'm going to go.
No, never. They said, nope, we don't practice it, Lester. That's a man thing. It is a man thing.
Ladies.
I'm convinced that it's a man thing.
No, okay. Ladies may not practice their dancing, but what y'all do, hand me that spray right there, is every time you go into the bathroom, do you believe in life after love?
You don't need to hold anything to sing. You
No,
just sing
women,
it.
all women grab their hairbrush, their curling iron, whatever they can hold. They want to hold something.
We actually don't.
Shampoo bottles.
No.
I believe, I really don't think you're strong enough. Oh, do you believe in life after love?
This is how screenshots happen. This is how screenshots happen, in case you wanted to know.
Girls do that.
Girls do not do that.
Every girl I ever seen on TV grabs something in the bathroom and they sing, like shampoo bottles.
I don't grab anything. I just sing.
Men don't grab stuff and sing ever. Men dance in private. Oh, and that's why. Ladies, come clean. It's time to stop keeping secrets. If we can admit our vulnerabilities, so can you. Get out of there.
We will skip into the garden center, okay? I know that. I will straight up skip like a schoolgirl whenever I get to the garden center.
Maybe 12-year-old girls at sleepovers, Lester.
On TikTok dances, but I like.
I'm sorry, okay?
These are all Lesterisms.
I just thought that girls did that. All women. I know you do sing in the shower or the tub. Jamie does sing. And I have tried to record her and she gets so mad at me. Jamie does sing. I just imagine she has something through her mouth, like a microphone.
No, just usually laying there with my eyes closed, just singing it, just letting it happen. Fake news, Lester. You got fake news.
Someone says, I do not sing in the shampoo bottles.
I sing in my car. I sing in the shower. I sing when I'm gardening.
Someone does dance with their mop on occasion. Okay.
Oh my God.
I know the lady. So guys, Jamie got an email that she wanted to share with me of her mother or mother-in-law. It's her mom-in-law.
Not me, the lady's mother-in-law.
Yeah, not Jamie's mom-in-law.
No, not G.
But Jamie's has a lady who watches her channel who her mom-in-law loves my channel. And they live across from each other. And the mom-in-law will literally walk around singing the Lester song, the Don't Let Your Troubles Fester, come watch Longhorn Lester. And she literally goes into her backyard and dances with her chair.
The email was like, it's all your fault. This is 100%
Can you please
your
show
fault.
them? So
I don't know if I can find it.
No, don't show them that. Yeah. I mean, show them the dance. She asked us not to share it.
Him.
She don't want to embarrass anybody because the lady would see it.
I'm not.
But this lady is literally, I will semi demonstrate. Don't judge how I'm dressed. This older lady, guys. She's old. Guys, they're looking at how I'm dressed. Am I exaggerating, Jamie? Hold on.
All I said was like, get out there and dance with. Like she spins the chair around.
And then, hold on. She does this. Jamie, put it down a little bit. This just kind of like makes me wonder, like, I don't know what she's doing that for. I don't know why she does that right there. I have not learned why she's doing that yet, but she does do that right there.
So the lady videos out her window of her mother-in-law dancing with a chair, and she's like, shh, this song, Don't Let Your Troubles Fester, she's singing it and she's playing it from inside her house over and over and over. And there was a point in time where Lester would tell people, like, come on, get up and dance. Or
I used to tell y'all, hey, let's get a chair workout in.
Yes. And I found it to be so endearing because here's this lady who's just living her very best life and doesn't have a dance partner, but dang it, she's going to make herself one. And she's going to do it to Lester's song. And
she used her chair like I told her to. The thing
You're the chair, Lester, says Gloria.
So she's...
He likes that.
So she's rubbing my arms in. Could you do that sometimes to me?
No.
That would feel so good. I imagine the way she's rubbing the arms of that chair is how I'm guessing she's like rubbing her dance partner's arms, not mine, but her dance partner. And it's like a really sensual kind of a rub up and down, and they spin around. And the lady you can see is having so much fun dancing with her chair. And it makes me also feel sad, because probably she doesn't have a partner.
Yes.
We don't know the entirety of the story, and I don't think it's fair that we share it if, in fact, we were asked not to share the video. So it probably the story.
She's choosing life, is what somebody says. She is. She's living. Like, hashtag living. That is living.
Oh, no. Teresa says, send her Eugene.
It's not a bad idea.
Eugene's
legs fall off, though, and oh my god!
And Eugene's mouth is like crumbled. He's missing one side of his mouth, y'all.
Was it Vanessa that sent you that screenshot last week of Eugene?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? From the shop.
Oh, the butt. Yes, guys. You know Vanessa. Hashtag be a Vanessa.
Okay. I about died when this came across. Lester goes, look Vanessa, what I've done.
Vanessa is amazing, and she sees everything. She notices everything. So Miss Vanessa remembers that. I'm going to just stick it on here.
Yeah.
So Miss Vanessa remembers that we had Uriel and his family here last weekend.
Oh, send her flat, Lester. That's a great idea, actually.
Save to download.
I'm ready to part ways with flat Lester, so I think that's a great idea. Then she really will have a dance partner.
It's true. Guys, I'm going to put this image up here. And Vanessa was like, you guys had Uriel's daughter over there all weekend long. And in all of the videos, it's kind of embarrassing.
It's a lot embarrassing.
And so that...
Does anybody see what might be embarrassing about this situation here?
So this was when I went to get all of the chickens out of the barn. This was a video I made when I had to get all the chickens out of the shop. The chickens were in our shop. This was the day after Uriel and his family had left.
Yeah. All weekend long.
And this,
all weekend.
Guys, we don't notice stuff like that. So we have body parts to mannequins all over the darn place. And so sweet Vanessa, one of our moderators, hashtag be a Vanessa. Well, she's doing what she does. She goes, Lester, I don't know if you notice or not, but Eugene's bottom half is right there in the kitchen, right where that little girl was playing all weekend long with her Barbie sets. And sure enough, there's the Barbie sets, the Barbie collection, or whatever you call it, the Barbie kitchen. There is all the chickens who came into our shop, and there stands Eugene's bottom half. And those chickens
naked.
Naked. Yeah, never thought about that, never noticed it, never thought twice about it. But you know who saw it? Was our sweet Vanessa. Thanks a lot, Vanessa. Now I feel like a total perv. I feel like a total weirdo. Yep. But supposedly you've also accidentally filmed arms and legs laying across the shop floor
I have.
in some of your advertising. So Jamie's been doing, look at that cat, Jamie. They're going to get themselves in trouble if they're not careful.
Their mama will help.
Uh,
They really are. They're all going up. And
Guys, well, I have the cutest video to share with you a little bit later. I recorded it yesterday afternoon. Jamie and I are sitting here winding down after a long week.
really long.
And we're drinking a Pepsi. We're having our Pepsi right here. And no videos, just she and I having a drink. And we see a kitten do this right here. But problem is that kitten got up and could not come back down. And we videoed Barnadette go up.
Don't tell them.
Don't, because they won't watch it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you loose lips, Lester, are
All right.
spilling your own beans in your own video.
So I know Jamie's right. If I tell you what happened, you won't watch because you've already know what's going
All
to
I'll
happen.
tell you is it was
a
amazing.
rerun.
It was absolutely amazing.
Something amazing happened, a bond between mother and child that you're not going to believe until you see it, if you choose to see it. Oh, no. Did
You're
you just,
all having the best time right now, though.
Barnadette just jumped up there with them
Yeah.
and tried to get them down.
She's going to lay down beside them and just...
Barnadette is lying on the ground. Oh, we just saw a cat fall. Oh, no.
Fell on Barnadette.
Oh, no.
She's mad at him. She got her ears pinned back and her tail is flipping. She's like, get down. She's speaking through
I
her teeth
done
right now.
warned y'all, stay out of that
She's like,
tree.
get off the tree.
Every parent has been there, though. Every one of you parents, moms and grandmoms and great grandmoms have been there having to watch your children and
She's speaking through her teeth.
tell them over and over to stop doing this, stop doing that, stop doing this. But the video that I'm going to put out today, it actually was a really magical moment of Barnadette doing something. I'm not going to tell you what, because you're right. No one's going to watch it. No one will watch it. So fine, I won't talk about it. But there'll be a video out today at some point. And I don't always post videos on the weekends. Jamie, this was kind of Jamie's thing. There was a time when I was posting videos 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day, 7 days a week. And she said, I kind of started having a little bit of a nervous breakdown, just a time thing.
It isn't only me that melts it down, okay?
No, we all have our breakdown
Yeah.
moments, but mine was mostly about a crunch time. I was crunching time, trying to figure out what I could and couldn't do based on the schedules of the videos and whatnot.
It was like we couldn't run to Tractor Supply, or we couldn't do this.
Well, we could, but after the videos.
But we had to be
done.
back before. And it was like, I looked at him and I'm like, why
No.
are you doing this?
And
Like,
so my thing is, hey, it's my job. I never get on to you about your job. And she says, if I had the kind of job that worked 7 days a week, you get on to me about it. And I said, okay, that's true. So we've made it to where I'm going to continue to bust my behind Monday through Friday and put out as much content and go as live and premiere as much as I can to work, to keep working. But weekends, we have to try to devote more time to each other.
well, and to getting things done. If
Yeah.
you want to know the truth, like, it's not just about like, let's all go have a nice day of relaxation. There are many things that take two, and it can only be done when I'm not working sometimes. And
True.
that's where I'm like, and we have kids, and we have to make time for things other than just videos.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, like I said, though, but if we ever do something that I can bring you guys along, then I
Yeah.
will, because that's what we do. And that's where we're at. And I tried to explain this in the video yesterday, that we're not the average run-of-the-mill channel that puts out a video a week or one per month or even two per week. We're the kind of channel that you're going to know everything there is to
see
know
us every day.
pretty much as soon as it happens. So
Well,
so
but really, they see us 7 days a week.
you do. You see us 7 days a week, and you know what our lives are like. So you're really pretty much living with us. You're all like sister wives, really, if you think about it. Like, and husbands. We're all like this big cult. What's wrong? Well, like, we live together.
He
practically.
doesn't know what that means.
No, it means like you're all sisters.
That's not what that means.
Work wives?
Nope.
What does it mean? What I'm trying to say is we're all like in this big family.
Family. There's the word you're looking for.
There we go. But the kind of family who, you all remember Dallas, the show Dallas, where the entire family lived together in that big mansion? Well, we don't have the big mansion, but we all live together in this thing called, we all live together right here. We all live together right here, where you know what happens as soon as it happens, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That is true.
Yeah.
And then what I said yesterday, I tried to explain to folks that I know that on those channels that don't post very often, they can save all of their best content into their one video. But when you video 2 or 3 times a day, you go live throughout the day, then you don't always get a blockbuster. Even though I think we have more blockbuster videos as far as big monumental blockbuster videos than probably anyone that I know, because we were video so darn much.
I think the way that people look at it, and people that love what we do.
You want more coffee?
Yes.
You want me to fill those up now, or do you need me to hear this?
No, you can go ahead. I mean, so either way, the way that I look at it is, it's as if you're here. So we try to share as much and as real and as roller coasterish as if you're right here, because not everybody lives a life like this. And not everybody wants to do all of that. And there's some parts of our days that people don't love, which is normal. There's some parts of my days that I don't love either. I don't want to go do all of the things that we have to do every day. But there's also, I'm going to sneeze again. There's also beauty in the mundane, and that's what we try to show. So that way, if you would find yourself in a situation of doing a hard task or a hard job or a hard chore, or I don't know, soaking up water from a closet that just flooded, and a home that just flooded, and ripping out trim and flooring and all of those things, that you can still find positivity and silver lining in it, because it's kind of important to stay on that side of the fence.
And then I also know that the same way I've talked about this being therapeutic to me, to give me someone to work with and to work, for you all, I do know there's people, I don't know how many, but I know there's some people who get therapy in this. While I get the coffee, read that first paragraph, only that first paragraph. This is an email I got yesterday that I thought was beautiful. And we get these on a pretty regular basis. Just the first paragraph, and don't share her name.
Okay. It says, "Hi, Lester. I can never get in on the conversations when you're live, but I want to thank you so much. Sometimes you work better for my depression than my medication. All I have to do is turn on your live or a past recording, and you always manage to make me smile, which is not easy to do sometimes. It's funny how I can be surrounded by family and still feel so alone. But I still turn you on, and I get out of my room, and I'm in Texas, and you and Jami are taking me and everyone else along. You walk the yard and go through all the animals. I love all the animals. Talking to them and all of us watching your cast. When you or Jami are on, not only am I not alone, but you both make me laugh, and I feel so much better." Why'd you make me read that? Why'd you make me read that?
What's wrong?
I didn't want to cry again.
Well, the reason that I thought it was relevant to our conversation is because there's people who are going through tough times. And even though a lot of people may say that it's overkill with as much as we're doing, there are some who enjoy the escape and some who need the escape. And this was just one out of many that you and I both get emails we share with each other all the time that's touching and powerful, and just makes you realize that what you do is helping folks.
I think there's a bug in my dress.
Can you help?
I don't know.
I'll just
I
smash
just
it
hope
in
it
there.
doesn't sting me.
Oh, God. Talk about your ground hornets.
I did the other day already. I got
Oh.
stung by I got stung one day 5 times and the next day 3 in totally different spots and places. And I don't know what's making them so angry, because I'm not doing anything.
Well, you're stepping on their home. It's the same if they live in
But
holes.
why do we have so many in so many places then?
I don't know. That's one thing I don't know.
That I've never, in all of the years here in Texas, have never ever experienced this before.
Yeah.
They're like in the landscaping and things and all over the place, but you can't see it. They just all of a sudden start coming out after you. It's wild. Sorry. Didn't mean it. I was actually humbled yesterday by something I haven't even talked to you about yet.
What are you going to tell me?
So, I've been having a rough week, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday I couldn't sleep. Got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and just decided to open my Facebook, my personal Facebook, which I don't do.
Okay.
And I ran across a post from someone that I have been friends with since kindergarten. No joke, since kindergarten. She still lives back where I'm from, and her and her husband have done like these amazing things. Like they have gotten grants from the state to revamp an entire like downtown of this old city, basically.
Okay.
So she's like, but she works hard and is just a very humble person. And she wrote this post that I will read to you, but I'm going to struggle to not cry.
Oh no.
Because it is so, there really is like a fly or something in my dress. All right. It says, I got some
2 flies in your dress.
Do I really?
They were breeding.
I got some big news in the last few weeks, and not the kind that you throw a party for and shout out from the hilltops. More like the kind that wakes you up with the sun, even if you haven't slept at all. That gets you out for long walks down lonely roads and for pep talks from nature. This is it. I was diagnosed with metastatic cancer in my lymph node the day after Mother's Day. To think that just the day before I was living my best life at my daughter's soccer win and my son's basketball win. And just 3 weeks before I was living my best life on a sandy wooded beach in Maine. My last hurrah in what would forever be delineated in my mind as life before cancer and life after. We had raced home from the trip to the East Coast for a scheduled excision of a lump on my back and my neck that the doctors had told me for 10 plus years was nothing. A dermatologist can pop that right out, they said. Turns out it was metastatic cancerous tumor I had been hosting for at least a decade. Hold on a second. And the cancer originated in a sweat gland somewhere else in my body. Since that phone call on that early Monday morning, I've lived 100 years. I've had my first IV ever and more IVs and scans after that. Phone calls and internet searches and hard conversations in doctors' offices. I've had moments of thinking I was dying to moments of feeling like I can do anything. The stress alone is immense and causes the wildest symptoms, which then plays tricks on your mind and causes more stress. It's a vicious, vicious cycle. But more than anything, I just wanted to feel normal. This is a long post. So I've made more of this time. I've always wished I could be a morning person, up with the sun. Now I am. So no matter the hour, I've decided to make my mushroom coffee and put in my gold hoops and go for a walk. It's a peculiar thing that putting on earrings to go for a walk at 5:30 a.m., but the minute I do, I feel a wave of relief. I feel like myself. I feel beautiful, and I've decided I will take my morning walks like that. Remember who I am, because it's weird how quickly you can forget that when you're given a diagnosis, one that should not define you. So I'm not going to let it. I have a stack of greeting cards in my desk that say, take a deep breath and remember who the hell you are, that I send to friends when I think they need to hear it. And I have one hanging in the frame next to my treadmill too, for when I need to dig deep. I'm strong, I'm loved, I'm stubborn, and I'm really courageous. I know I can do anything, especially it's for myself and my kids. Gosh, my kids. So she goes on to talk about this, and she says, so there we go. I needed to get that off my chest. I'm a terrible liar and the kind of person that if you ask me how I am, I can't just say fine. I want to tell you how I really am. I don't want it to be an elephant in the room, and I'm good. I'm controlling what I can at the moment, and I've had a wonderful friends and resources in my community. So she just goes on to say that, so none of this really fits in. It's been perplexing for me so far. I've prayed every morning for God to show me my purpose and his will for me in my life, and to put the omens and the people in my path I need to help me and them. I realized a few days ago I stopped praying after this bomb dropped on me. Then it occurred to me, God's never failed me. He's always loudly shown me the signs and the way, and I've always followed and believed it. And this is just another chapter of his book, The Purpose for My Life. And I will put my earrings on and walk it out. So all of my stress lately and all the things that I've had, like, I don't know, my moments, I read all of that and I thought, like, I want to put my earrings on and walk it out too. Like, just a profound way to look at circumstances and life and really, truly be humbled.
Well, the way I look at stuff like that is kind of like I look at it two different ways. Number one, I think about it like, wow, and I thought I was having a rough day.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I thought I was having a rough day or a rough week.
Here I am complaining about water and complaining about, like, I'm so stressed because of projects due. And
yeah, we're not being eat up on the inside from cancer, thank you, God. And then on the other hand, I think of it a different way. I think, wow, if that was me, would I be able to get up and put on my shiny earrings and take that morning walk? Or would I be the kind of guy to sulk and go into a dark, closed area and just wither away with fear? Or would I be courageous like her and get out and say, you know what, I'm going to enjoy the sunrise every morning, and I'm going to take my walk, and I'm going to live whatever life I have left,
I don't have a lot of friends, but I lost one to cancer this year. And now this is just sort of like, I'm going to put my earrings on and walk it out too. Just and it really makes you also think of, like, there's a quote that I read once of, like, there's someone praying for the life that you have, and they're right. That person is praying to not have cancer, and it's just hard.
Yeah.
So,
that was pretty powerful.
It was really powerful when I read it. I ugly cried in bed. And I really did get up and put some different earrings on. Literally. I was like, I'm going to change my earrings today because of that. And I'm going to get up and get my butt outside and do life.
Well, good for that lady.
Why are there flies crawling in my dress? Seriously.
I don't know.
Because I really mean it. Like, I feel it. I wasn't going for a compliment, but there really have been like 3 flies that have crawled on me for some reason.
Maybe because there's a little bit of opening right here.
Maybe.
In the back when you lean forward.
Oh no, here comes Chester.
I know. Well, listen, our hour is officially up.
We haven't answered any questions. I don't want to end on
a sad note.
Note of me crying. So
well, let's just go ahead and before we answer directly, let's go ahead and talk about the state of the health. Let's just you do everything from this property, and I'll do the other property. How about that? The State of the Union, y'all. Here we go. Our State of the Union.
We had to make a separation last night that we did not video because it was very spur of the moment. We think that Ernie is a little bit more sick again, so we actually pulled Ernie because the rest of the alpacas were being mean to him. So Ernie is separate.
They are trying to what they used to call it when they would kick someone out of the community. They would kick someone out of a community. They would
ostracize?
No, well, I mean that's the word, but no, when they used to exile. It's like the other 3 are trying to exile Ernie off to himself. And that makes me feel really sad for him because he wants to be a part of the herd.
Yeah.
And they're trying to exile him off to himself. And
it was a very weird behavior.
And that makes us feel like they know something that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, banish, ostracize, yes. Shun. Yeah, I think we get the point. And so what we did, well, this is your story. Go ahead.
No, so we ended up, I was only going to, Annie and Oopsie were the ones who were being mean to him. Indy was kind of doing her own thing. So my vision was, we'll just get Annie and Oopsie out. Well, Indy ran with them. So current state, Ernie's in the front pasture and the other 3 are in the pasture right next to him.
So they're right next to him. They can all touch nose to nose. So no one feels like completely isolated and I have no friends and I don't know who I am anymore. Ernie still has his family right next door.
And we will try to get Indy in today with food. That's our plan, is to bring Indy back in to be with Ernie so that we just have some pieces like that. But
they were being mean. Like they
really
were
mean.
Biting and spitting and like trying to run him away.
Do y'all remember when I made that video of where Annie and I think it was Indy who had like really loose bottom lip and just looked like horrible, and there was just like drool coming off of their mouth? Well, that's when they're really mad. And Ernie and Annie had that last night. Like, they straight up had a brawl. And I don't know why. Like, we just heard it and ran out there and made the separation. And I'm like, all we can think of is I know that Ernie's not well. I know he's not well. He has roller coasters. We're giving him iron. We've done all the things, but it is a really long, brutal process. And I just imagine that, like, in herds, usually they'll pick on the weak because they don't want that. Like, isn't it like a natural instinct that they don't want the weak to slow them down? Isn't that what it is? So I don't know why, but we separated them last night. So that's kind of like heavy on my mind.
Can I say here what I think, what I told you we should do?
Yeah.
You're okay with that? So listen, guys, and please don't hate the messenger. But I told Jamie yesterday, I says, Jamie, I says, in all honesty, I says, you and I, meaning Jamie and I, we don't know enough about this particular species of animals to be their best home. I told her that. We love them. God, we love them. And don't forget, Annie was your very first birthday gift. Annie's been with us for so long, such a survivor. But alpaca, if you guys have not watched other channels, alpaca are dying all across the state or across the country.
Yeah.
Because there's something going on with the alpaca parasites.
The barber pole.
The barber pole. And Jamie and I just cannot seem to find a way. And I'm thinking maybe it would be best for the animals.
We're still very much talking about this. This is the first time it came up last night.
And it might be that we're just being selfish, trying to hold on and hold on and hold on. It might be best to find a true place for alpacas to go where they can live an alpaca life, where people who know what they're doing. And if it's true that they're picking up things from the goats and we have to separate from the goats, then in fact what we're doing is giving them no pasture, because our goats must have pasture, and all we're doing is confining our alpacas to one little small paddock. And to me, that's not fair for them. So
we have more to talk about and more to think about. And obviously we have the jail north, and we haven't talked about, like, this is all very like 12 hours new, y'all. So we're tossing around. I don't want Ernie to suffer. And that I feel like right now I'm feeling a little hopeless and helpless in the fact of I'm not making him better, and I'm doing everything that everyone is telling us to do, yet I'm not making him better. So we have more to come about that, but we're at kind of a crossroad and a worry place basically right now.
Yeah. So that's one issue. What else is going on around here? We're going to get ladies coming on Thursday to take 2 of our kittens.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. We're going to meet her and her daughter on Thursday, and they'll be taking 2 of our kittens with them.
Mm-hmm. And then overall, things are, I wish I had wood right here to knock on. Overall, things are mostly okay, with the exception of Carl.
Carl is sitting on eggs, and I don't know why, but I really would love to see if Carl could in fact give us a couple of new ostrich babies. And we just keep our fingers crossed that they're all females. But the good news is it is not hard to find a wonderful home for an ostrich if you do it when they're younger. It would be hard to move them once they're old, but what we could do, this is just an idea, is take these babies, if in fact any can hatch, let Carl do his job, let him fulfill his purpose. And ladies, you are the last ones to say, oh, no, go out there and bust them eggs open, throw them eggs over that fence, don't let them do it. Ladies, because you should have that inside voice that loves babies. And Carl has that. He wants babies. And we could take them from early on, get them DNA tested, not DNA, but sexed to find out if they're male or female. And if we have any males, then we simply never allow the males to grow up here, because we know how that could turn out to be just like what happened with our tat. But instead, as a youngster, move any males along to other wonderful bird places. And we know one lady that's begging for birds, begs for birds.
Let me interject here. Here's what my question to Lester was. Sure, if it's a couple, I can understand that there's a place. What if there's 12? What if there's 12 that hatch? What are you gonna do with 12 baby ostriches running around here?
Hey, listen, let me just call out some names and tell you all of the joys that they have brought to us. Debbie, Wanda, Tina. They have been nothing but a joy. God, I miss Wanda. Such a funny bird. And now Tina, Debbie.
But we don't need any more ostriches.
Okay, I know we don't need, but Carl has a purpose. He's devoted himself to seeing if he can hatch a couple more eggs here in this Texas. I just want to see some babies. I want to have some babies, Jamie. I want to have some babies.
I know you love babies.
They were so very cute and so fun. Now, I will agree that any males are going to end up being a problem later. The males are wonderful for the first 2 years. But after 2 years, as you guys know, the tat grew up to be bigger than his dad, ended up fighting his dad, and scared Carl off.
I can tell you where they're going to
Sandy. Sandy. Help me find Sandy.
No, because I read what it said.
Sandy says, for once, I actually agree with Lester. Thank you, Sandy. I lost your comment. It went by too fast. But for once, Sandy finally agrees with me. Well, guys, I'm sorry, but I love babies, and I love Carl sitting on those eggs and seeing him walk up every day, eat real fast, and run back to get those eggs back to the right humidity level and
Deb
the right.
says, Jamie, Stephanie did want giant chickens.
She said, what?
She said Stephanie did want giant chickens.
See, Stephanie likes giant chickens.
Oh, God. This is the biggest chicken of all chickens, except for they don't crow or cluck. Oh, my God.
All right. So it's just an idea. It's just an idea.
And as we sit here and dawdle on the idea, Carl's out there sitting on eggs. Did you video what happened to you the other day?
Which part?
With Carl?
No.
Oh.
What? I don't know exactly what part you're talking about.
You said he chased you.
Oh, out across the pasture.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did not want me over there by those eggs. Yeah, I drove out. I made a video about that. I drove out to look at the nest. We saw Debbie was lying on it during that. However, Carl, who had come up to eat for a little bit, and they take turns. As of right now, for anyone who thinks that Carl is starving himself right now, he's not.
No, Debbie does daytime duty.
Yeah, they take turns.
Do they know why that is?
No, talk about it.
So Carl, the males are darker colored and the females are lighter colored. So the females sit on the eggs during the day because they're camouflaged in that nature. And in the dark, the males are camouflaged. So that's why the male ostriches have night duty. Isn't that wild?
Yes.
And then the last 2 weeks, the male won't get up at all.
Only. So as of right now, if you guys are worried about Carl, dying out there in the sun, right now, Carl's fine.
Wait, I missed it. Dang it. Did you see what it said?
No, I'm scared.
Hold on. I don't know if this is true or not, but that's funny to me.
Jeff will take 2. There you go. 2 ostriches going to Pennsylvania.
I bet Mary won't take 2.
There you go. There can be 2 birds off to Pennsylvania, but you have to wait until they're at least old enough to travel, but not so old they can't go in the backseat of the
My
truck.
rule with that would be, though, and no one's going to like this. No one will like this, is that Chuck would also take that ride back.
Oh, Jamie, Chuck loves us. Chuck feels right at home.
Yeah.
Mary will stop that, somebody
That's
said.
what I said. I was like, Mary might put a pause on that.
No, that has come up more and more. People are saying that now that Jeff has his own place, would I be willing to let him have Chuck back? Number one, I don't think that they want Chuck back. But I have always told Jeff if he wanted Chuck back, that's his bull. But I need to know that pretty soon, because it's getting to the point now in the summer where it's going to be way too hot to transport anything. You cannot
And you have to do it at
transport
night.
an animal.
To get out, it's like the first bout of that trip would have to be, it's like starting at 5 p.m.
You would have to start at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So no, but you know what? I love Chuck, and Chuck is becoming a big part of everything over here. And I
Just
think that
because-
Chuck loves it here.
I'm not saying that I don't love Chuck. I just love you more.
I know. I get it. No, I've not talked to Jeff about that at all. But no, as far as Carl goes, I just love the fact that he's over there on those eggs and he's taking turns, and he does come up to eat and drink. But what I'm having to do is when I look out and see him, I go feed him right away, knowing I don't know how much time he's going to be here. So right now he's staying very well nourished, and it's beautiful watching this. And remember, guys, this is the most beautiful thing of all, is everybody said it could not happen. Everybody, from the ostrich farmers to the zoos, they were all saying it can't happen in Texas. There's no way, because of they have. Well, you all know the incubator. Tell everybody the things you have to do in an incubator to get a basic chicken egg to hatch.
The humidity levels have to stay exactly the same.
You can't even open that thing for any period of time and move your eggs around.
After
I mean, you got to be.
Yeah.
So the humidity level has to stay constant.
Mm-hmm.
How in the world do these birds, in their minds and their DNA makeup, know how to regulate, how to rotate, how to control the humidity under them when the humidity here is just crazy?
So they said that the humidity here was too high to actually hatch the eggs.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
because what's the percent?
It's probably 110%. What's she going after? Oh,
We have very high humidity. And no, I'm wondering what it is.
Oh, so it has to stay in the incubator. It has to stay between 65 and 75%. But yeah, 65 and 75% for a certain amount of time. Our normal humidity rate is way above that. And then if you count the ostrich sitting on top of it and creating humidity, it feels too hot. To me, it would be too high.
For those who are saying that Chuck and Waylon are not friends, you're wrong. Chuck and Waylon are best friends. They are best friends. If you don't know that, then you're not watching videos. Chuck and Waylon are amazing friends, and they are always together, side by side.
For instance, at 1 a.m., it's 97% humidity. How can they regulate it to make sure that it doesn't dip or go above? And that is what people told us, is that our humidity was too high for ostrich eggs to hatch, which basically means that it would die inside of it.
And so here's what I've noticed is that on their own, when these birds stand up, I've observed this so many times. On their own, these birds will stand up and they'll inspect each egg, and they can tell which eggs are still, what's the word? Which eggs are still volatile?
Viable.
Which eggs are still viable. They can tell which eggs are still viable.
And they turn them every day.
And then they'll
my egg turner
also,
turns the eggs.
as they're sitting there looking at them and pecking them or whatever they're doing, they'll begin to push eggs out that are no longer viable. They're not going to sit on eggs that are no longer viable. And they push those out into the distance. And at some point, they'll peck them open.
Here's the crazier part,
and eat
too.
the contents.
Up
What?
to a certain point, the girls will still come and lay every day in that same nest. And the head female will lay in the middle. Hers count more. And the other lays on the outside.
So if you remember now this has been several years ago.
Yeah.
But the last time that we allowed them to nest, there were 7 total eggs, only 3 hatched.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 total eggs, only 3 hatched.
Have you seen how many are out there now?
I can't get anyone off of them because as soon as one gets up, one sets back down, and I don't want to push anybody off.
No.
But no, I know where the nest is at. I have no idea how many eggs are there, but I have seen that they've pushed some eggs out and popped them open. So they are.
Yeah, they'll break them open themselves, and then they'll eat the shell and everything to make sure that the predators don't get a sense of that to attract anything.
Yeah,
it is incredible and powerful, and the fact that Carl or the males do it is also, y'all know, that's mind-boggling to us. But I still don't want any more ostriches.
So as of right now, there are viable eggs. And Carl and the ladies are taking turns sitting on them. One of the, what's kind of funny, I guess the way Google listens to us talking, or our phones hear what we're talking about. Yesterday, when I went to my YouTube, up pops all of these ostrich videos. And I've not looked up anything about ostriches. I've not had to. But one of them was a Jami ostrich video. And it was probably recorded on maybe the first day. It was Mother's Day several years ago when the first ostrich egg hatched. And that little baby came walking over there from across the pasture to Jami. Now, Jami's standing on the other side of the fence. And that little baby ostrich walks all the way over. And Jami's like, go to your mama, go to your mama. Well, that baby crawls through the fence. And Jami's like, well, no, Jami was scared to touch it.
Because I didn't want it to like, how they say that some will not accept their babies again, like if they smell like if they imprint on you, they don't look at their real parent as a parent, basically.
Yeah, and so Jami was scared to touch it. All of a sudden, here comes Cornholio.
Yeah, he wanted to touch it,
and he pops on top of it. Cornholio jumps right on top of it, not trying to touch it, y'all. He wasn't trying to touch it. Cornholio's being Cornholio. Jami has to push Cornholio off. Jake, who at the time was working for the sanctuary, had to run over and grab Cornholio. This baby ostrich is trying to find somewhere to get warm. It finally goes underneath. The baby goes underneath Tina. Now, Tina was separated. It crawls underneath Tina.
That was a wild.
Tina's like, what?
She's like, what is this thing underneath me?
Tina's wings are like, she's like freaking out. Like, I don't want it. No, get in the way. Get in the way. I don't want no babies. Anyway, Jami finally had to pick that baby up and put it back where it came from. But it was so cute. And you love that baby. So
I did love them as babies. I did. The thing is that they get big. And I know that we don't need any. So as long as there are people who want them and have homes, then by all means.
So how about we say this? How about we say this? How about we go ahead and say, you know what? By next spring, no matter what, by next spring, any males that we have, we will find them a new home by next spring. That will give them the entirety of the rest of this spring, which they won't be born probably until summer, but they'll have all summer with us. They'll have all fall. They'll have all winter. We can love them, get to know them, give them names. And
I was more in the mindset of like 6 months.
And either way, as long as we can still transport them
like
in the back seat of a car,
yes,
not in the trailer.
Yes, because when they get, they're ostriches, so they have 2 legs. Transport is hard. So if they're doing it when they're little, you can do it in a vehicle where they can sit down and lay down. And in a trailer, they very likely will not lay down.
And then don't forget some of the fun videos. Guys, if you don't know about this, we had so much fun when they were little last time, the little babies. I would take them for truck rides all the time, trying to get them familiar with riding in the backseat of a truck.
Took one to PetSmart.
I took them into Petco. They went to Petco. They went to Tractor Supply, and they would take rides with me all the time. They were like our dogs. They wanted to go in the car. But the problem is they would poop everywhere. So I had to really, getting home with them was a mess. You had to really.
That farm truck has been through some things.
That farm truck has seen some things. Absolutely.
Do you know the other day, I was in that farm truck and I was looking for a tool and I reached into the door pocket and there was goat poop in there.
Oh, no. From Lenny. He was the last goat we took in the farm truck.
Tilly.
We took Tilly over to the sanctuary. Wait, didn't Ellie take Tilly? No, we took her.
No, you took her.
I took Rover.
Yeah.
Okay.
You took her to Sonic.
Oh, yes, Tilly. Okay, Tilly. Whoops. Didn't see that.
Yeah. Found it.
No, I just say I love the babies, guys, and if we choose not to, I think at this point it's kind of too late, because go out there right now and force one of those babies up and take those eggs away is just going to crush them. It's just going to crush them. And absolutely, I can by all means take all the big birds to the other property and let them run into the back pastures with the cows, because we've had cows, horses, and birds together plenty of times. There's never, ever been an issue when cows, horses, and big birds can't be together. We only have one horse who's scared of the big birds, and that's Stormy. Stormy is terrified of the big birds.
Like terrified. Like if she walks out here in the pasture and sees them across the way here, she will freeze and looks at everybody else and goes on red alert. Still to this day, still terrified.
So this is not going to become an arguing point. Jamie and I will come to a conclusion and we'll figure it all out and we'll decide what has to be done. But I don't know. I really, really love babies, and I wouldn't mind having some ostrich babies. They could go into the front bullpen if you guys are nervous about them being out back and they might even go into the shelter. Think about that for a minute. They might actually go under the shelter because our barns are so big. We have big shade trees. There's 2 big shade trees in the bullpen. There's fresh water that we keep filled. So there's plenty. And then
I need to address something. There's some people are like, this is horrible. You're a sanctuary. Sanctuaries don't breed. We are also a farm.
Yes.
And we are also a ranch. And we're not breeding to make any money.
We don't do for profit. Y'all.
None of those things are happening. So we have not made up our minds if we're going to allow this to happen or not, or if it will even happen. So keep that in mind too. And I want you to look at any sanctuaries and see if they allow their chickens to hatch as well before you jump down our throats. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's so many things, but you don't have to tell us who we are, because we're so many things.
We know who we are. So I'm just going to read you what Google says. I'll let you read it for yourself. Jamie, can you actually read that, Jamie?
No, I can't read it because it's backwards. Yes, some bird sanctuaries can hatch eggs.
All right. So I typed in, can a bird sanctuary hatch eggs? Google, AI overview. Yes, some bird sanctuaries can hatch eggs. It's not a common practice, but it does happen successfully. Anyway. So we're not going to argue and fight with you all. If we decide to do it, then we'll do it based on what we want to do. And if we don't do it, then it'll be based on what we want to do. This is not going to be put up to a popular vote.
I need to clarify. We're Lester and Jami. This is our home that happens to have a farm and a ranch. And part of it is an animal sanctuary. And a rescue. And what we have done for so many animals' lives, and so I'll even say for people, me included, is provide a safe space where they receive healthcare, food, shelter, clean water, all of those things.
Yeah.
Do you smell that?
I do. What I also will remind you guys is that unlike chickens and guineas and other birds, ostriches do protect.
That is true.
Instead of drawing predators up to mess with your place, an ostrich will actually defend and protect animals. So you have to understand that, Stella, you have to understand that ostriches can be very beneficial, and they have actually helped and saved us from coyotes. So anyway, like I said, if I don't want every live to turn into an argument in the comments, so let's not go there. It's just we're giving you an update on what's going on around the property. So health of the health and well-being, Ernie is our concern right now. Yes. Barnadette's doing much better. We think that she's healthy enough now to be spayed, so we'll make that appointment pretty soon.
So our current vet was booking like a month out. So I have to find
Did
another.
I just do that? A month.
You did. I have to find another.
No one screenshot that.
I gotta
please.
find another.
My face got that long.
It
A
did.
month.
You look like you might have thrown up on people. I will find another potential vet to do it sooner because I don't want her to find a random stray around here. And then her kittens all need to go in as well. There's one kitten that I'm a little bit nervous about, but I treated her last night. I dewormed her again last night, just thinking that she's just acting a little bit off.
Yeah, and then not to make another arguing point, but at some point, whichever kittens do not get rehomed, will all be going to the JL Ranch and making that their home. Right, look at Mr. Hank upstairs looking at us.
He's
like
ready to go
big
back
shot.
in.
And then the JL Ranch, I will try to feed them around the RV area so that can kind of be like their central, their hub.
You'll bring their catio.
I'll
though.
take their catio
And
so
they'll
they'll have
go
a
in there
place
at
to go
night.
at night. And guys, we're there all the darn time. So when we're out and about, they'll be fine. All right, not
They
to worry.
love their catio. Like they love it. They love the shelves. Last night there were 2 kittens in each box and then
Yeah.
one on top. It was really adorable. And then Barnadette's down on the bottom.
Yeah, and then they will be spayed and neutered, but we're
Yes.
gonna find out which ones do not get rehomed. And as of today, even though a lady is coming on Thursday, we'll believe it when we see it. We will believe it when we see it because sometimes
things change.
they just don't show up. But we'll see, and then we'll see who she takes, and then we will go from there. I don't know how old they have to be to spay and neuter, like 6
months,
months.
I think, at least.
So
for
we have a
females.
long time for that. Anyway, not to worry. And then all the animals over at the other property are fine. Jamie had a little bit of a concern with Talus because one night he did not eat all of his food.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you how that.
Yesterday he ate fine, so I
Okay.
didn't see any
I
problems.
think he just got hot and nervous about everybody else getting out soon. Like he was last for some reason, and
Yes.
he was like, "Oh, I better hurry up and get with everybody else." So
All
I
right.
don't know. It was just different that night.
And now I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb here because it's not actually ready yet. But Jamie has a huge video coming out on Monday. Can I go ahead and say that?
You can say that, but don't say what it's about.
I will not say what it's about, but it may be, in my opinion, the video of the year.
Oh my god!
And
No pressure.
I am putting that pressure on you.
No pressure.
I am putting that pressure on you. I'm going to call it Jamie's video of the year. And so that will be Monday. And that's going to put some pressure on her. Poor Jamie for the weekend. Now she has to really think about how she's going to do this and make it a blockbuster. It's not been recorded yet, but I do think that by the end of the weekend, it will be able to be recorded. And so by Monday, hopefully Monday, pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
I know. All right. Well, listen, thank you guys
We've
so
been
much
live for an hour and a
watching.
half.
I
I'm
know.
leaving y'all. I have stuff to do. It's
Yes.
project day.
Well, we're going to end the live the same way we started it, with the most beautiful song written for me for my birthday, using the videos that Jamie and I recorded. And you guys enjoy and have a wonderful Saturday. And I promise, if we find ourselves anywhere this weekend that I can go live, I will do that, okay? And take you guys along with us, because I can also promise that she will equally pull her camera out and record whatever's going on.
Maybe.
She doesn't go live as much, but she records as many videos as I do, okay? I can promise you that. Thank y'all for watching. Is today the last day of the month?
Yep.
Today's the last day of the month, guys. The 31st of May. Wow, this year's flying by. All right.
Turn on Dolly Parton.
Yep, here comes Reba McEntire and Dolly Parton
Together.
Absolutely. Bye, friends.
Down in Texas where the sun runs high, there's a place where hearts and spirits fly. I'm a survivor stands for all who've been through. A second chance, a promise, pure and true. They take the broken, the battered, the lost, love without measure, no counting the cost. Every hoof and paw gets the life it deserves, a pasture of hope where kindness curves. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. Stretching fences and wide open skies, where love's the language that never lies. Each soul that walks through those gates of grace finds a home, a heart, a safe new space. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive. And I'm a survivor, we're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. We're all survivors of some